In this episode, we're going to talk about what you should be doing in the Christmas period. If you're in the fitness industry or in the martial arts industry like I am, January is probably the biggest and busiest time of the year. So you should be taking advantage of this to get new members into your premises. Don't fall into the trap and make the mistake of putting it off till January to start your advertising for a January offer or getting people in the gym. You should be doing it right now. If you're not advertising already, you need to get something done ASAP. We always start advertising at the beginning of December. That doesn't necessarily generate bookings, but what you're doing is you're putting yourself out there so people are seeing your adverts, seeing your business, and then when the time comes, normally the week of Christmas and the week in between Christmas and New Year, that's when they'll be starting to think about doing things for the new year. If you've laid the seeds already, they will remember you, or your name will be the first one that comes into their head. What you don't want to do is wait until January and then go, well, it's January now, we'll start advertising. It's too late. Other people that have already been planting the seeds and advertising through December will probably capture those people that you could have got. So what you need to do is create an offer for January and start advertising it now. Like I say, the goal is not to get people in straight away. You may get some sign-ups, but the goal is to plant the seed for that week or two after Christmas is when people are going to be looking for the new year and to get started, especially after having a break of the Christmas period, probably overindulging and then thinking, right, I need to get back on it in January. So that's when they're going to start looking to start taking advantage of the offers you've created. The key here is create a really good offer that is going to get people through the door. That's the goal. The goal is then, once they're in the door, is to sign them up as full-time members at the end of January or February or however long you run your offer. I would suggest for a January period, a good one is a 1-month offer. We do a paid trial, so we do a discounted price for that so someone can train for the whole of January and then really experience what it's like to be part of the gym, part of the community, and build those good habits so they're more likely to continue in February. We've actually got 3 offers running this December. We've got an adults offer, a children's offer, and our beginners course. Now, our beginners course runs every year. We always advertise that in December for our January beginners course, and it always sells out. This year, we're also advertising a children's offer because we've had a few spaces come available. So we're going to advertise those as a Christmas offer, and we're going to advertise an adults one to encourage more adults to get involved in training. You need at least one. So either do a really good offer for the whole month of training, a paid trial. Make it a paid trial rather than a free trial. If you give it away as free, people are less inclined to come because they've not had to give anything for it. They've not had to put any money down or commit to it. So it doesn't really matter if they turn up or not. We have done both in the past. We've trialed free trials and we've trialed paid trials. Paid trials always work better for getting people through the door. You may not get as many sign up to it, but you know those people are most likely going to turn up. It's better to have 40 paid trials and say 35 turn up than 60, 70 free trials and only 40 turn up. It's a lot of wasted effort and admin to contact all those people, get them ready for their trial, and then they don't bother turning up. So I would 100% recommend paid trials is the way to go. Now, whether you do it as a monthly offer, just as a general offer, include some stuff in there that is going to entice people to want to take your offer. So it has to be a really good offer rather than just saying, oh, have 10% off for your training. Give it so it's almost too good to turn down. Because then the whole point of January is to sell them and show them how good your service is and how good your gym is, that they're more likely to stay come February. The other option you can do is like what we do, and that is a beginner's course. Every January we do a beginner's course, and that gets rid of the fears of people being a worry that they're going to be a burden on someone. So one of our greatest fears that we've come up against is, oh, I don't want to hinder someone else's training because they're new and they don't know what they're doing. So we created a beginner's course to get rid of that fear. Everyone is the same level. They're all starting at the same point. So they have nothing to worry about in the aspect of they're going to be holding someone back or someone will be frustrated with them because they're training and they don't know what they're doing. That obviously never happens in the gym, but people get inside their own heads and they start creating these environments that just don't exist. But it's a genuine fear that we've come up against a lot for new starters that have never done anything. So a beginner's course is a fantastic way to get rid of that fear or combat that fear and put them at total ease because they know that everyone in that room is going to be starting at exactly the same spot. Now, once you've created your offer or thought about your offer, we now need to advertise that offer. So you need to create a Facebook ad around that to then get it out to the people. I would suggest, if you don't want to spend a lot, or you don't spend a lot on advertising, put a little bit more on your Christmas budget. You want to hit as many people as possible, because this is a really important time of the year for people starting new things, trying out new sports activities, and it's the biggest time of the year where people want to make a change. If they've been putting it off, we all know that January is the time where people make that little bit extra effort to try something new. If they've failed in the past, hit on that in your advertising. So if they've tried regular activities like the gym and you're a martial arts gym, play on that and say, like, listen, you've tried these things, why don't you give martial arts a try? It may change your life and it may be the one that sticks. Ultimately, that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find something that someone enjoys and can stick at. It's no good being a fad like 2-week weight loss program. You want them prolonged activity, because that's where they're going to make the most changes and see the real benefits, and see their fitness improve, their health improve. So the goal is long term here, and we want to get them through the door so we can then show them how beneficial the martial arts would be for their health and their lives. When you're advertising your Facebook ad, make the advert about what it can do for them. So a lot of traps martial artists tend to fall into, they make the advert about them and what they've achieved, rather than what they can do for their potential client. Like, no one cares if you're a world champion. I'm sorry to say it, but whatever you've achieved to the highest degree, no one who has never done it before is going to care. They're not even going to know what you're talking about. That only matters to people that are already in the sport. So let's say you're a black belt world champion in jiu-jitsu. Someone that's never done jiu-jitsu before is not going to care. They're not going to have a clue what you're talking about. So the fact that you're leading with an ad, 10 times world champion, 5-time European champion, this, that, they don't care. They want to know what you can do for them and how it's going to improve their life, not what you've done in the sport. Yes, you can obviously drip feed that in if you want to when they join, but the advert must be about what improvements you can make to their life and the benefits they will experience joining your gym. So really play on those in your ad copy and point the benefits and the ways it will change their lives and what it can do for them. Now you can go even further in detail and you can build a landing page for it as well. That will go off the back of your advert. So you'll have your advert, obviously a lead form ad to collect their details, and then you need to be contacting them to get them booked in or signed up to your offer for January. If you build a landing page, they can then take themselves off to find even more information. You can show them the benefits of what they're about to receive by joining your ad. If you've thrown in any free items, you can add them in. You can have testimonials from students that are already part of your programs that are doing really well and succeeding. You can have videos of your classes so they can get an idea of what to expect. It's just another way for them to kind of look into your world before actually committing to anything, so they can get a kind of an understanding of what goes on in the gym, what you're like. If you've got videos of you teaching, they can see how you teach the classes, the structure of the classes, and it just puts them at ease and makes it easier for them to sign up. The more they can visually see what's going on in your classes, it removes any barriers they may have. So if they're anxious about coming into a room they don't know or going to a place they've never been to before, give them as much visual as you can, and then it helps ease that anxiety, makes it easier for them to commit, because they've seen your gym, they've seen you, they've seen the people in the gym, they know where you are now. It just removes so much of the anxiousness surrounded by going to a new place or signing up to a new thing. They're already coming outside their comfort zone to try out this new martial art or this new activity. We want to remove as much of the anxiety surrounding everything else, putting them at ease of location, what the building's like, what you're like, what your students are like, the people they're going to encounter in the room. So if they see lots of smiling faces and people happy in their training, it's going to be much better for them and much easier for them to say yes to come along. Once your landing page is finished, you can automate this so they can take payments, etc. Or you can do it over the phone. It's entirely up to you how in-depth you go. This will probably depend on the level of systems you have already in place. If you're very basic starting off, lead form, Facebook ad, contact them. straight away. You can take a card payment over the phone, or you can send them, if you've got a sum up machine, you can send them payment links which they can then book. You can send it by text or WhatsApp or email. Once they book or pay the link, you then book them onto their trial or beginner's course, whichever you decide to go for. Make the process as streamlined and easy as possible and path of less resistance, and you will get much more people signing up. You should be trying to fill your gym as much as you can in the January period. That's where probably the biggest growth happens for all fitness and martial arts gyms, certainly in the UK, and it's the way we've seen the trends happen. And then from there, we can get growth throughout the year to push your numbers up and really build your school. So in summary, if you haven't even thought about a trial yet, get thinking. You need to be doing this ASAP. Build an offer, build a Facebook ad, build a lead form. They're your three basic, bare minimum things you need to do to get people's contact details to then be able to sign them up to your January offer. You can then build a beginner's course if you want to do it that way. And if you want to go automated and give them more information, build a landing page as well, okay? Once you've got all that in place, you're ready to start taking those bookings and get as many people through the door in January as possible. And hopefully you start 2026 in the best possible way. Like always, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, leave them in the box below and I will answer them. And I will see you on the next one.